Well, hello folks. Welcome to this video. It's going to be a bit insane. We have some attempted murder, travel comments, and plans, future plans with the bike. But first, I'm exhausted. Let's go get some breakfast. Okay guys, table's a little wobbly, so if there's some shaking, please excuse it. Whew. Boy, do I have a story for you. This is my journey so far, and there is just some crazy things, including near death and shootings and all kinds of stuff. So trigger warning if that's something you don't want to hear about. On July 16th, we began a new chapter in our lives. We are relocating to Denver from the Buda/Austin area, selling our house, moving up, starting a ranch and in Denver and going from there. So we had a lot of plans. We put our house up for sale. We got an amazing offer. I have a lot of equity in our house. So we got this amazing offer, made the plans, got the new job, everything else set up in Denver. Everything was going along, and then the person buying our house fell apart. Literally fell apart. That's a totally different story. But we already had these plans. I'd already resigned from my current job, or current at the time, and I gave them plenty of notice to try to be nice. I was a regional manager for a company, and they immediately cut me then and cut my pay then, so we had a big disruption in our income stream. So, never to be one that lets that stop me, I said, okay, we're just gonna still stick to our plans. Purchased an Airbnb for a couple weeks so I could settle in, and jumped on the motorcycle and came up here on Saturday the 16th of July. Now it was a 1,000-mile trip, rode it in 15 hours, everything I needed packed on the bike did amazing. I talked about that in another video. Very, very happy with the Road King. The challenge happens when I get to Denver and I get to the Airbnb, which turns out to basically be a crack house. No joke. It is 6 people to a room, 2 rooms, so 12 people in this tiny little place. And it was a mess. It was the filthiest thing I've ever seen, let alone stayed in. This is even when I moved out of my house at 16 and didn't know how to clean yet. My place was still cleaner than this. I mean, it was nasty. I'm going to show you some pictures and some video right here. Okay, this is what the rooms look like. You can see there's 6 bunk beds. People are just belongings in plastic bags. It's a mess. Kitchen, just a constant disaster. Doors missing, nastiness, bugs. This is coming up to the door from the outside. You'll see that pushing it opens. The wind would open this. There's no locking it. There's no security whatsoever in this place. Bedroom door, no locks, no knobs. Just a hole, and you pull it by putting your finger in the hole. That's my bed down there to the left. You'll see all my belongings. I have to lay on those and sleep on those. This is the nastiest bathroom that I have seen in my life. Okay, so that was the place. Due to not having an income, on a very strict budget, I stayed in this place for 2 weeks. It was a disaster, but I stayed there. I slept on top of my belongings, took all my valuables with me when I left for work. It was scary. It was a mess. Once that we got to Saturday, which would have been the 30th, all hell broke loose. I was outside on the phone, hear screaming and shouting and banging, clearly a fight going on. Thought it might have been coming from the rooms I was staying in, so I walked back toward there, and it was the people across the hall. Now, you've already seen that our door did not shut. It just opened and closed with a push, or wind or anything else. Directly across the hall from that, there's a massive fight, a man and a woman going at it, screaming, things breaking. It was crazy. After a little bit of this, I get ready to call 911 because somebody's going to have to break this up. So there's three shots from a gun fired rapidly in the house or in the apartment. Complete silence after that. A guy comes out dressed in cargo shorts, muscular guy, must have been like maybe 280 in pounds. Aggressively walks up and down the aisle between the apartments and then takes off between buildings. I go knock on the door, no response. I go out, I call police, I think somebody's been shot, might be dead. At the same time, security's driving through. I stop them, they get out, they go to the door, nothing, no response from within. It takes the Aurora, which is a subpart of Denver where I'm at, police department, about a half hour to get there. When they get there, they very slowly go up to the door. Lady opens the door. Apparently she's wounded. They called medics. They came and got her. Yada, yada, yada. Scary, just insane stuff. The security guard was telling me 3 days before, in a building next to ours, they found another guy that had gotten a scuffle with his flatmates or Airbnb mates, whatever, and they shot him in the head and left him on a chair, just put a towel over him for 12 hours. So anyway, during all this madness, I book a hotel. That's where I am now. Slept here last night, and I'll be doing this from here on out. We're making changes with our plans on the house, still up for sale. That's going to be fine. It's just going to take a little bit of time in the market the way it is. In the meantime, it's been incredible up here in Denver, other than the living situation, right? The weather is amazing. I only have the bike up here, so I ride in everything, which I pretty much did back in Texas, and that's fine. It's great riding up here. When did some mountain riding in previous videos, shows some of those. I'm going to put some up here, and we're going to talk about what we're going to be doing with the bike and how that has changed because of the environment. As you can see, the scenery is just amazing up here. Going up in the mountains and riding is just breathtaking. It's the greatest thing that I've ever seen on a motorcycle. The views, the temperature changes, the twisties, just simply incredible, and it's something everyone needs to do. So, as some of the comments on my previous videos about the build on the Road King on Jade Shadow, have commented. I agree. The 114 engine is incredibly powerful. Having taken the long trips, having taken it up in the mountains, I can tell you that, and mine's just a stage 1, that it's incredibly powerful. Numbers on paper are totally different than experiencing it, and it's a monster. But it's not good as a bike for doing twisties and doing the mountains here in Denver. Now, of course you can. I mean, and I have. You've seen some videos. I don't want to put a bunch of video right now of riding on the twisties because I don't want to bore you with this. But throwing a 1,000-pound bike around the curves, 1,000 pounds with me on it, is a difficult thing to do. So, and I've got a compromised lean angle on it. I mean, let's just call it what it is. It is a rough lean angle on the Road King. I'm going to keep Jade. I'm not going to part ways with her. I love Jade. Jade is an amazing bike, and I'm extremely happy with her. She's everything that I wanted her to be. But now I have an opportunity to do a different style of riding. So what I am considering, and I'd like to hear your feedback, is going through with Jade and doing some more personalization and continuing her through a stage 2, but then stopping at the stage 2 and bringing in a second bike. We know I like power. We know that I like the ability to hold my own on the road. So it's got to be a bike that's not as heavy as Jade, has much better lean angles, but still has a great deal of power. So I am thinking, personally, right now, and this can change, but I'm thinking about the Rocket 3. It's a lot of power. It would be a lot more effective on the twisties. And then we can do different types of riding with the 2 different types of bike. But I'd love to hear your feedback on it. Thank you for watching this video. Give me your thoughts. You've now seen the madness that I've been going through for the last 2 weeks. It's been quite an adventure. I'm overall, I'm really liking it. New chapter coming here soon once we get the family up here and we're able to reunite everybody. Come along for the journey if you haven't.